You seem to think you had a parakeet at one point even. I didn't even know that.
I think, but I'm not sure. I wasn't
Maybe
versed
Wikipedia
before I
knows.
came in. Yeah, I should look that up.
That's right. Oh, well.
I wouldn't put it past him. You know, sit on his saxophone.
Oh, I didn't
while
know
he
they
played.
even had a cat. So I knew about the dog, but that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, Erin, this is Erin of Red Buffalo Cafe. Thanks for coming in here this
thanks
morning.
for having me on.
How's everything going over there?
It's going great this morning. You know, we've Chinese New Year started yesterday.
Okay. Well, then Happy New Year.
Happy New Year for those who celebrate it. And you know, the fun part about the Chinese New Year is that you actually celebrate for a whole week.
Yeah.
It's none of this like one day stuff and you're done. It's a whole week long of celebration. And so in honor of that, I brought you a Dragon's Well green tea today because I figured that was rather fitting for, you know, a Chinese New Year sort of feeling of everything.
Now, you guys have a lot more than just green teas.
Yes.
And they're all loose leaf teas. So tell me about the benefit of supplying that kind of product.
Well, we have over 30 different types of loose leaf tea. And what you get from loose leaf is just you get more flavor, you get more body, and you can kind of make it more towards your own personal taste.
Yeah, I was going to say, not to mention that you can just make these really creative combinations of these teas, and you can see some of these different flavors that are painted across the screen that just flavors I didn't even know would exist in the tea world as someone who doesn't really drink a whole lot of tea.
Yeah.
But when you try something like that from Red Buffalo, you're a convert, like
you are
immediately.
Absolutely. It's kind of a lot of times people drink tea because they don't drink coffee. So they're like, well, I should have tea. But when you get into loose leaf, it really makes you want to drink loose leaf tea. There are so many, I'd like to think of it as wine. You know, a lot of the teas are named after a region. So you can just get very specific with this tea from this region, from this estate. You know, a Ceylon's usually from Sri Lanka, and you have Assam, which is from northern India. And so they're all based off of where they're grown. And then you can kind of get specific and mix and match them. You can get a pomegranate pear herbal tea, and I really like mixing that with our jasmine pearl tea.
Nice.
Some people really like doing that. So you can really get creative with tea. It's suddenly no longer just the alternative to coffee. And seeing as most of the world does drink tea, I think the United States are catching up, although we're still big coffee aficionados. And of course, you can get whatever espresso or coffee drink you want.
And I do love the coffee at Red Buffalo as well. I've had 2 cups already. Not, you know.
Couldn't tell.
Oh, okay, good. I'm still waking up, right? But no, I do really love the coffees and all the different kinds. Again, you can have lots of different combinations. Like you say, you've said weeks before, if you can think it, you can probably make it.
We can probably make it. We also carry soy and almond milk for those with a lactose allergy.
Great.
And then also for, you know, continuing on with allergies, some of our food options, we do carry a gluten-free breakfast burrito and a couple gluten-free snacks, in addition to fully gluten and delicious cheesy pastries and things like that too. So it's kind of something for everything, something for everyone at the Red Buffalo.
That's right. And the Red Buffalo is also very central to the community, not with just location, but the whole mission of Red Buffalo. You guys are very community driven.
We are. So we're right in the middle of Silverthorne, 358 Blue River Parkway. We're open 7 days a week, 6:30 to 5:30. And we really try to be a centerpiece to the community, whether you're having a meeting there or we're donating things. The Summit High School Jazz Band recently had their fundraiser at the Pavilion, and so we donated a bunch of tea and coffee for that event. And we'll do that for lots of local events that come up, because we really think that when you support a local coffee shop, you support your local community.
Right.
And that's the most important thing you can do as a business, is to help support whatever local things are out there. We really like to support the school district and a lot of their things. So it's kind of, when you come in and support Red Buffalo, you support everyone.
Yeah. Well, tell me, we're looking at your website right now, which is going to answer my question. Where is the best way to find out details on Red Buffalo?
On our website, which is redbuffalocafe.com. You're on our sustainability page right there, which is really fun because we do so much that is recyclable or compostable. We've changed over lighting to be more energy efficient. And I think that's a move a lot of businesses are doing, but we're really proud of it. And we're kind of leading the way in at least the zero waste end of coffee shops.
Yeah, it blows me away every time I go into the shop to see your waste can and your
Exactly, yeah. So the compost is the big one,
right.
and the trash can is probably no taller than
right.
2 coffee cups stacked up. So it's really cool to see that, and I love educating people who may be new to the county or who don't know about composting or some of those programs that you can do to reduce your waste. And it's really fun to educate people on it. I think they get really into it, and they learn more about coffee and tea and business services than just getting a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and they find out how it's not as difficult as it may sound.
It's not. It's really so much easier than you think. And, you know, I think the gradual shift is moving towards recycling everything and composting things. And I talked to some of the composting guys up here, and they said, wouldn't it be great if the recycling bin that you have outside your house, that were your trash, and the big trash thing you have outside your house, if that were your compost or recycling or whatever it is. And I think we're seeing that shift. And I think businesses are really getting on board with it too, and that's a fun thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And so those are some of the bigger points on how Red Buffalo stays connected to the community. But some of the smaller things are like the whiteboard. The library books in there, but you have that whiteboard in there. Anytime you get a drip coffee.
Our Karma Train.
That's the Karma Train.
You bring your own cup in. Every 10th person to bring their own cup in. It doesn't have to be for a drip coffee or.
Okay.
It could be any drink, but you have to bring your own cup in to get it. So it's a Karma Train, and you check off if you brought it, and the 10th person who does gets their drink free. So you come in, you kind of are expecting, you might pay for your drink anyway, but the 10th person just happens to get a free one that day, and then we erase the board and it keeps going, and we go through it a few times a day.
And a great way to also then perpetuate the zero waste initiative that you
encourage
guys have,
people to
that you're bringing in your own cup.
Yes.
And then we were talking about pets at the beginning of the interview. You don't have a dog shop dog, do you?
Well, we have one that kind of comes in, but because the shifts are long, you don't want to just ignore the whole time.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right? But if your dog is on a leash too, we don't mind if you bring him in with little biscuits for him, and sometimes it might meet our shop dog. But like I said, if we don't want her sitting around bored for 6 or 7 hours, because
that's fair.
They get intrigued in their own things at that point.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. As do I. And they leave me in here for 2 hours, and that's probably enough time.
So 6 hours, you just get into too much trouble.
Exactly. Too much trouble. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and a happy Chinese New Year to you.
Thank you very much.
And,
happy Chinese New Year to everyone
We
else.
are going to take another quick break here. Again, one last look at your snow and weather report still to come, along with more in our Monday edition of Sunrise. We'll be right back.